We're going to break down 3 early spring walleye spots that we are finding walleyes on rivers all across the walleye world right now. First is what I like to call community holes. Now, a lot of folks will either anchor up or even spot lock in deeper 15 to 25 foot holes, oftentimes around a bend in a river, and they will wait for those fish to come to them. So fish are pushing upstream, they got that urge to head into the current to go drop those kids off at daycare for the spawn. And what happens is you're anchored up in these holes. I like to a lot of times sit at the head of the hole up in the top end of the current, and these fish pushing upstream will slide into this deeper water. You'll catch a few and then maybe they're gone, they're moving on. You have a little lull in the action. Sure enough, another wave comes through. Pop, pop, pop. Sometimes you can even hear the fish coming from all that hooting and hollering downstream from other boats. Or if folks are being a little low key about it, then instead they're waving their walleye flag, aka their net, in the air, and you'll know to get ready. I grew up a bass fisherman. I know, settle down. So I don't like sitting still very long, and I hate fishing around crowds. I would much rather be up pitching, casting, moving, covering water, and fishing a little bit shallower than most folks. Getting up shallow, up in the skinny water where there's snags, rocks, stumps. You'll have folks wondering what you're doing all the way up there when you and your buddy are setting the hook and they're way off in the background in that main river channel or deep hole.
That was the most simultaneous hook set.
Yeah. Now you might not catch as many fish doing this. Some days you will. But the ones that you do catch are usually bigger than average fish. So a lot of the times it's those bigger females that are up there, and I'm not exactly sure why. If it's because they're heading upstream to spawn and they're sliding out of the current to rest up, or you hear of them when they're done spawning, riding that current back downstream and then sliding into those slack water areas to both rest and feed. But there's bait there, there's fish there, and there's big walleyes there. So if you can find those seams, those areas where you see the current is moving pretty good, but you've got kind of slack water right there, that seam between the two is almost like a weed edge in summertime, where fish will be working that back and forth. So target that and those little slack water, backwater areas off of that. Perfect spot to pitch jigs up shallow and try to get a big bite away from the crowds. And I like throwing the lightest jig I can get away with while still being able to hit bottom or get some bottom contact in there. Usually it's about 1/8 of an ounce. Sometimes I gotta bump up to 1/4 or so. All depends on the current speed. Pair it up with a bulky plastic, like a ribbed plastic, to move some water, and it's game time, baby.